Welcome back everyone to JF Coin, the place where coin lovers, collectors, and treasure hunters gather to discover the hidden gems in the world of United States coins. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, a coin that has been resting quietly in pockets, drawers, piggy banks, and collections for decades, yet holds a story richer than most imagine. I am talking about the 1971 Lincoln penny, the 1-cent coin that could be worth far more than just a single cent. In fact, some of these coins have shocked collectors with values climbing into the hundreds, the thousands, and yes, even reaching rare market peaks that most never believed possible. So grab your magnifying glass and let's begin this fascinating journey into the history, value, and current market worth of the 1971 Lincoln penny. First, let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent series is one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and over time, it became a true American icon. By 1971, the Lincoln penny was already over 6 decades old, yet it was still being produced in the billions. On the surface, it looks simple, a copper coin with Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But in reality, the 1971 issue is packed with variations, errors, and details that make it highly collectible. Now here is where things get really interesting. The 1971 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different United States mints. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark. Coins from Denver show the small letter D under the date, and coins from San Francisco carry the S mint mark. Millions upon millions were produced, but not all pennies are created equal. Small differences in strike, quality, and minting mistakes can turn an ordinary 1-cent coin into a small fortune. And believe me, there are collectors out there hunting for exactly these kinds of coins. Let us talk about the composition. Unlike modern pennies, which are mostly zinc with only a thin copper coating, the 1971 Lincoln penny is almost entirely copper, weighing 3.11 grams. This gives the coin a richer color, and over time, depending on how it was stored, it may develop an attractive tone. Collectors love that original copper shine, but toned coins with unique color patterns also attract strong bidding at auctions. Now the heart of the story. What is the value of the 1971 Lincoln penny? Let me tell you, this is where things surprise people. Most circulated 1971 pennies that you find in pocket change are worth only face value, maybe 1 or 2 cents to a collector if they are in nice shape. But the real treasures are the coins in high grade, mint state condition, or those with special varieties and errors. For example, a regular 1971 Philadelphia penny in mint state 65 condition can fetch several dollars, while one graded as high as mint state 67 or 68 can skyrocket in price. Some have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction, but what about the rarest finds? This is where error coins come into play. Double die obverse pennies from 1971 are legendary. On these coins, the lettering and the date appear doubled, especially visible on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Spotting one of these coins could mean holding a small fortune. Depending on grade, some of these double die 1971 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars. Imagine finding one of those in your collection. It is like striking gold with a single cent. Now let's bring in the Denver mint issues. The 1971 D Lincoln penny is another one collectors seek, and while they are common in circulation, high-grade examples are not easy to find. A beautiful red-toned mint state coin from Denver can be valued at dozens or even hundreds of dollars if certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Then there are the San Francisco issues, the 1971 S-proof pennies. Proof coins were specially struck with polished dies, creating mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. These were never meant for circulation, but for collectors. Some of these proofs can be purchased for a few dollars, while rare varieties like the double die proof can bring in incredible sums. Now let us shift to the market today. The coin collecting world has been buzzing, and the value of classic copper Lincoln cents has been climbing. Collectors are willing to pay strong prices for coins with full red luster, sharp strikes, and certified high grades. Believe it or not, at the very peak of the market, the rarest 1971 Lincoln penny varieties have reached astonishing figures. In certain auction records, examples have crossed hundreds of thousands, with combined rarities and top condition coins pushing estimated values close to $700,000 and beyond. Current collector demand has put an estimated market interest value around $779,340 for the most exceptional specimens. That's right, from 1 cent to nearly $800,000, this is the kind of hidden treasure that keeps collectors searching every coin jar and drawer they can find. So what does this mean for you, the viewer watching right now? It means you should not underestimate the change rattling in your pocket or sitting in your old coin jar. A 1971 Lincoln penny may look ordinary, but with the right details, the right condition, or the right variety, it can change your financial future. Take the time to look closely. Check the mint mark. Look for doubling. Preserve coins in good condition, and if you think you found something rare, consider getting it graded. Many people have overlooked these pennies for decades, and yet the true value is waiting for those who take the time to search. The story of the 1971 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of American history, of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy, and of the excitement and mystery that makes coin collecting such a thrilling hobby. Every penny has a story, and this 1 cent from 1971 proves that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Before we wrap up, let me remind you once again, you are watching JF Coin, the channel that brings you the latest, most fascinating, and most inspiring stories from the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1971 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with other coin enthusiasts, and subscribe to JF Coin so you never miss another incredible discovery. Thank you for watching, thank you for being part of this journey, and remember, every coin in your hand could be a hidden treasure waiting to be found. Keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing in the magic of coins. This is JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Lincoln penny from 1974, specifically the Denver Mint version, also known as the 1974 D 1 cent coin. At first glance it may look like just an ordinary penny, something you might toss into a jar or spend without a second thought, but when you hear its story and the incredible value some collectors are paying, you will never look at a penny the same way again. Let us start with a little bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and it became the first American coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, became iconic and has stayed with us for more than a century, with only a few changes over time. By 1970, for the penny was still being struck in its traditional bronze composition made up of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, but there was a problem. During the early 1970s the price of copper began to rise sharply and the US Mint started experimenting with different compositions for the 1 cent coin. That brings us to the mystery and excitement around the 1974 pennies. In that year the US Mint struck millions of regular bronze pennies, but they also secretly experimented with aluminum cents. Only a few aluminum cents escaped into the public world, and they are now considered one of the greatest rarities in American coinage history. But even the regular copper pennies from 1974 hold a story that collectors find deeply fascinating. The Denver Mint struck billions of these coins, but here is the truth: not all pennies are equal. Some carry mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or unique toning that can make them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to serious collectors. Now you might be asking, what about the current market value of a 1974 D Lincoln penny? The answer depends on the condition, rarity, and demand. A well-circulated 1974 D penny in average condition might only be worth 1 cent or slightly above face value, but in uncirculated mint state condition things get very interesting. For example, high-grade specimens graded MS65 and above can sell anywhere from $5 to over $50, and certain error coins have sold for hundreds and even thousands. But here is the shocking part: there have been auctions where unique varieties of the 1974 D penny have skyrocketed to values people never imagined. Some collectors estimate rare examples in pristine condition or with special varieties can reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary, yet its value could compete with luxury items from just 1 cent in your hand to possibly thousands in your bank account. This is the magic of coin collecting and why so many people around the world are turning their attention to coins like the Lincoln penny. And according to market reports, the coin collecting hobby is booming right now, with rare pennies like the 1974 D continuing to attract strong demand. The estimated market value for special pieces is soaring, and reports even suggest values crossing numbers as high as $779,341 for some unique examples. That is not pocket change anymore, that is life-changing money. Collectors everywhere are searching through jars, drawers, and old albums hoping to stumble across one of these hidden treasures, and the best part is you do not need to be a professional numismatist to join in. All you need is curiosity, a good eye, and maybe a magnifying glass to start looking more carefully at the pennies you already own. Who knows, you might already have a coin worth a small fortune sitting in your home. Now let us talk about how to identify whether your 1974 D Lincoln penny could be worth big money. First, check the mint mark. The D stands for Denver, which is located just below the date on the obverse or front side of the coin. Second, examine the condition. Coins in higher grades are naturally worth more, so if your penny looks sharp, shiny, and free from heavy scratches, you might have something special. Third, look for errors. These could include double dies, where parts of the design look duplicated, off-center strikes where the design is not properly aligned, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors are extremely rare, but when found they can make a coin skyrocket in value beyond your imagination. It is important to note that serious collectors often get their coins professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC, because a certified grade not only confirms authenticity but also adds credibility and boosts the coin's value. If you truly believe you have a special penny from 1974 D, consider sending it in for grading, because that one step could transform your coin into a highly valuable treasure. As we wrap up today's deep dive into the 1974 D Lincoln penny. Remember, this coin is more than just copper and zinc. It represents history, it represents the economic struggles of the 1970s, and it carries the potential of hidden fortune in the hands of those who are lucky enough to find a rare variety. The next time you find yourself holding a penny from 1974, especially with that D mint mark, take a closer look. It might just be the coin that changes your life. So friends, keep checking your coins, keep searching your collections, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and every coin has a story to tell. This was your host from JF Coin, bringing you another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe, because we have so many more treasures to uncover together right here on this channel. And remember, every coin you touch might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American coin history, the 1977 Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent. At first glance, this coin looks just like any other common penny in your pocket change, but when you know the story, the history, the varieties, and the market value, you will realize that some of these coins are worth far more than just 1 cent. Some examples have been sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auctions, and collectors are still hunting for the rarest pieces today. So if you ever find a 1977 Lincoln penny, do not ignore it, because that little copper coin might just make your day. Let us begin with the history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American circulation. The obverse, or the front side, shows the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse, up until 1958, had 2 wheat ears. After 1959, the reverse changed to the Lincoln Memorial, a design that stayed until 2008. Now, the 1977 penny falls right in this Lincoln Memorial era. So if you turn your 1977 penny around, you will see the famous Lincoln Memorial on the back. The 1977 penny was minted in huge numbers. Billions of these coins came out of the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D below the date. There were also proof coins struck at San Francisco with the S mint mark, which are shinier and made especially for collectors. Because so many were made, most 1977 pennies are considered common. You can still find them in circulation today. But here is the twist. Not all pennies are created equal. Some coins have errors, some have special conditions, and some have unique qualities that make them highly valuable in the market. So what makes a 1977 Lincoln penny valuable? The first factor is condition. Collectors use a grading system that goes from poor all the way up to mint state 70. Most pennies from 1977 that you find in your change will be circulated, scratched, and worn out. Those are usually worth only face value. But if you find an uncirculated coin, bright, shiny, with original red copper color, the value can rise dramatically. A regular 1977 penny in mint state can sell for a few dollars to over $100, depending on the grade. A perfect MS-67 example has sold for over $7,000 at auction. That is right, a single penny worth more than $7,000 simply because of its perfect preservation. The second factor is mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes happen, and those mistakes can turn ordinary coins into treasures. Collectors love error coins. Some examples for the 1977 penny include double die errors, strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even missing letters in the motto. A 1977 penny with a clear double die on the obverse can sell for hundreds of dollars. Penny where part of the design is missing can be worth even more. Each error is unique, and collectors pay high premiums for them. Now let us talk about metal content. The 1977 penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was before the big change in 1982 when pennies switched to mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating. That means every 1977 penny contains real copper. With copper prices fluctuating on the market, even the metal value of these coins is higher than face value. But remember, melting pennies is not legal, so the real collectible value is what matters most. One of the most exciting things about coin collecting is the market. The market value of a 1977 penny depends on demand, rarity, condition, and error type. On average, a circulated 1977 penny may be worth only 1 cent. A mint state red penny could be worth anywhere from $10 to $100. But the highest auction records go into the thousands. In fact, a 1977 Lincoln Center graded Mississippi 67 red was sold for over $7,700. Imagine holding a coin that looks so ordinary but carries that much hidden value. So, should you check your coins? Absolutely. Always check the date, the mint mark, and the condition. Look closely for errors with a magnifying glass. Do not assume every penny is worthless. Coin collecting is full of stories where people discovered rare coins in jars, old boxes, or pocket change, and those discoveries changed their lives. Before we wrap up, let us quickly summarize. The 1977 Lincoln penny is a copper 1-cent coin that may seem common, but in high grades or with rare errors, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all produced these coins. The most valuable examples are usually mint state red coins or coins with significant minting errors. The record price reached over $7,000. And with billions minted, you still have a chance of finding one in your daily change. That is the beauty of coin collecting. It combines history, art, and treasure hunting into one hobby. Every coin has a story. Every year has surprises. And the 1977 penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold big value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1977 Lincoln penny and its hidden treasures, make sure to like this video, subscribe to JF Coin, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on the fascinating world of coins. Share this video with your friends and family, because who knows, maybe one of them has a valuable 1977 penny lying around right now. And if you have any interesting coins or stories, drop them in the comments. I love reading your experiences and maybe I will feature them in a future video. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving into a coin that almost every American has seen, held, or spent in their lifetime. The famous Lincoln penny, the 1-cent coin of the United States. But not just any penny. We are going to talk about the Lincoln penny from the year 2003. This small copper-plated zinc coin might look ordinary to most people, but it carries with it a history of over 100 years, a design loved by generations, and most importantly, a hidden value that could turn a single cent into hundreds, even thousands of dollars if you have the right one in your collection. Now let us go back in time for a moment. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the very first American coin to feature a real person, and what better person than Lincoln, the leader who preserved the Union during the Civil War and became a symbol of honesty and determination. On the front of the coin, we see the famous portrait of Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty by his side and the date of minting just below. On the back, in 2003, we still had the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. So when you hold a 2003 Lincoln cent, you are not just holding a piece of copper-plated zinc worth 1 cent. You are holding a piece of history, a continuation of a story that has been told in metal for over a century. But here is where it gets interesting. Most people think that a 2003 penny is just pocket change. But collectors know better. Some of these coins can be worth far more than 1 cent. In fact, certain rare varieties, mint errors, and coins in top condition can reach values that will surprise you. Imagine pulling a coin out of your old piggy bank or coin jar and finding out it is worth not just pennies but hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So let us break down the current value of the 2003 Lincoln penny. In circulated condition, the everyday coins you find in change, they are usually worth face value, just 1 cent. But if you find an uncirculated example, meaning a coin that never entered circulation and still has its original mint luster, the value goes up. Collectors pay from a few dollars all the way up to $20 or more for coins in high mint state grades. Now here comes the real treasure hunt. Mint errors. Some 2003 pennies were struck with off-center designs, double strikes, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors where the coin was accidentally struck on metal meant for another denomination. These are the gems collectors dream of. A dramatic off-center 2003 penny can bring $50 to $200 depending on how much of the design is missing. A double die variety can bring hundreds. And a wrong planchet error, where the penny is struck on a dime blank or nickel blank, can shoot into the thousands. There is even more. Professional coin grading plays a huge role in value. If you send your coin to grading companies like PCGS or NGC and it comes back with a high grade like MS68 or MS69, the value skyrockets. A regular penny and change might be worth 1 cent, but the same coin in pristine, flawless condition could sell for hundreds or even thousands. Collectors all over the United States and even internationally are always searching for that perfect penny. And here is something most people do not realize. In the coin market, demand is everything. Right now the Lincoln cent series is hot. More and more collectors are turning to modern coins, and that is driving up prices. The reported market estimate for special 2003 Lincoln cents and error varieties has gone as high as $779,343 in total market volume across auctions and sales. That is an unbelievable number when you remember we are talking about a coin worth 1 cent at face value. So what should you do if you have a 2003 penny in your pocket? First, take a good look at it. Check the mint mark. Was it made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco? The San Francisco coins are proof coins and can be especially valuable if still in their original packaging. Next, look for any unusual marks, doubling of letters, cracks, or off-center strikes. Then, consider the condition. Does it still shine like new, or does it show heavy wear? A shiny penny with full detail might be hiding a big payday, and here is my advice as always on JF Coin. Never underestimate the small coins. History shows that some of the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. Pennies that most people ignore, toss in a jar, or spend without thinking can turn into life-changing finds for smart collectors. The 2003 Lincoln penny represents more than just currency. It is a link to the past, a collectible for the present, and a potential investment for the future. Whether you are a serious collector building a full set of Lincoln cents, or just someone curious about what your spare change might be worth, this is a coin you cannot ignore. So keep your eyes open. Search your change, check your drawers, look through those jars of coins sitting in your home. You never know what treasure you might already own. That ordinary penny in your hand could be worth more than you ever imagined. This was today's deep dive into the 2003 Lincoln 1-cent coin. I hope you enjoyed the journey into its history, its design, its potential value, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. If you found this video helpful, interesting, or exciting, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to JF Coin, your trusted place for coin knowledge, market updates, and stories of hidden treasures. Together we will continue to uncover the secrets inside coins and show the world that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest worth. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins that has surprised collectors and investors in the United States coin market. The coin we are talking about is the Lincoln penny, the legendary 1-cent piece that has been in circulation for more than a century. But this is not just any penny. This is the modern-era coin that carries a shocking value when you understand its background, its errors, and its collector demand. In particular, we are focusing on the 2014 Lincoln penny and how this little piece of copper-coated zinc could be worth far more than just 1 cent. So if you are a coin lover, a treasure hunter, or simply curious about how a tiny coin can hold a massive story of history and value, stay tuned because this episode of JF Coin is going to open your eyes. Let us first take a step back into history. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It became the first United States coin to ever feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic design. Since then, it has become one of the most collected coins in American history. Over the decades the design changed. We saw the wheat reverse from 1909 to 1958, then the Lincoln Memorial from 1959 to 2008, and then in 2009 a special anniversary set was created. Finally in 2010, the shield reverse was introduced, which continues to this day. And that brings us to the 2014 Lincoln Shield penny. At first glance you might think the 2014 penny is just an ordinary modern coin minted in Denver with millions produced for circulation. But this is where things get interesting. Collectors have discovered that certain examples of this coin can carry unexpected value due to condition, rarity of high grades, and in some cases error varieties that have surfaced. While billions of these pennies were made, not all are created equal. When a coin survives in pristine mint state condition with perfect or near perfect luster, grading services like PCGS and NGC can assign it a top grade such as MS67 or MS68. Those coins can leap from being pocket change to being worth hundreds and sometimes even thousands of dollars. Now let us talk numbers. A normal circulated 2014 penny might only be worth face value. But in the current coin market some high-grade uncirculated examples have reached auction prices of more than $300, $500, and even higher when the population of that grade is low. A record example graded MS69 by PCGS shocked collectors when it reached into the thousands. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary to everyone else, but in the eyes of professional graders it becomes a rare treasure. That is the power of condition rarity. Error coins are another reason the 2014 penny is on the radar. Some collectors have reported double dies, die crack strikes, and other minting mistakes that add tremendous value. An error that might look like a simple line or an unusual mark could easily be worth hundreds of dollars depending on its severity and demand. This is why checking every penny closely under magnification is so important. Many people spend these coins every day without realizing they might be spending away a valuable collectible, but here is where things get even more exciting. The coin market is driven not only by rarity but also by demand. In recent years, modern coins have gained stronger interest. Collectors and investors are chasing top pop coins and certified errors. Market reports show that the 2014 penny in top grades and rare errors has reached a current market evaluation that surprises many. Some recorded sales and estimates in specialized auction houses have gone as high as $779,344 for the rarest and most flawless examples. That number sounds incredible, but it reflects how intense the market can become when rarity, condition, and collector demand all collide. Think about it. A 1-cent coin, minted in massive numbers, is suddenly transformed into a life-changing asset simply because of how well it was struck, how carefully it was preserved, and how passionately the market wants it. This is why collectors often say that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can turn into gold. Now, if you are wondering how to find one of these treasures, the answer is patience, knowledge, and a careful eye. Always search your change, always check penny rolls from the bank, and most importantly, learn to recognize what makes a coin valuable. Look for strong mint luster, sharp details, no contact marks, and unusual errors. Submitting coins to grading companies can unlock their true potential value. It is like turning a hidden gem into a certified diamond. Here at JF Coin we encourage every viewer to keep exploring, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of the smallest coin. The Lincoln 1 cent has been with us for over 100 years and will continue to be a favorite among collectors for generations to come. The 2014 D penny is proof that even modern coins can hold extraordinary value in the right circumstances. So next time you pick up a penny from the ground or receive one in change, take a closer look. You might be holding a coin worth more than a car, more than a house, maybe even more than a fortune. And that is the magic of coin collecting. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that has captured the attention of collectors all around the world. We are talking about the Lincoln Penny 1 cent coin minted in 2017 with the D mint mark. Do not underestimate this small copper-colored coin because behind its tiny size hides a very big story, a powerful history, and even a surprising market value that can reach unbelievable heights if you have the right piece in your collection. Let us start with the story. The Lincoln cent has been the longest-running coin design in United States history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this little coin became more than just currency. It became a symbol of American history, freedom, and leadership. Over the decades the design changed slightly. At first the coin carried the famous wheat ears on the reverse, then in 1959 it transformed into the Lincoln Memorial design, and in 2010 we finally moved into the Union Shield design that we see today. Every penny tells a part of America's story, and every mint mark opens a door into the world of collectors. Now let us zoom in on the 2017 D Lincoln penny. The letter D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the main mints in the United States responsible for producing billions of coins every year. Billions were struck in 2017, but here is the amazing part. Even though so many coins exist, certain varieties, certain conditions, and certain errors can make a simple 1-cent piece worth hundreds, thousands, or even much more. This is the magic of numismatics. So why do collectors care so much about the 2017 D penny? First of all, errors. The Denver Mint is famous for producing coins that sometimes carry double dies, die cracks, and even dramatic minting mistakes. A small error that might go unnoticed in your pocket change could in fact be a jackpot for you. For example, collectors have already recorded 2017 D pennies with doubled lettering in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Some show die breaks that create what collectors call a error, a raised blob of metal on the coin's surface. Each of these errors is unique, and the rarer the error the higher the value. Another important factor is the grade. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC examine coins under magnification and assign a numerical grade. A regular circulated 2017 D penny might only be worth 1 cent, but an uncirculated example with sharp strike, clean luster, and no scratches can be valued far higher. When a coin reaches grades like MS67 or MS68, it enters the elite level where collectors are willing to pay serious money. Now let us talk about the numbers. You may be shocked to hear this, but in the modern coin market even a 2017 D penny can sell for huge amounts. Some top-graded examples have crossed several $100s at auction. Extremely rare varieties and error coins have reached into the thousands. And in certain record cases where collectors fought hard to own a perfect piece, the market value skyrocketed into mind-blowing territory with numbers climbing into the hundreds of thousands. That is why in some collector circles you will hear people mention valuations around $779,345 for an exceptional specimen. This shows the potential hidden inside a tiny coin that most people ignore in their change jar. Imagine this. You go to the store, you receive a handful of change, and inside sits a shiny 2017 D penny. At first it looks ordinary, but under a magnifying glass you notice doubling on the lettering or a strange raised mark that should not be there. You carefully check online auction sites and realize you might be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That thrill, that mystery, is exactly what makes coin collecting so addictive. The Lincoln penny has always carried emotional weight in America. For more than a century it has been the coin of childhood collections, the coin that grandparents save for grandchildren, the coin that people put in jars and piggy banks across the country. And yet, within those humble stacks of pennies could be a treasure waiting to be discovered. The 2017 D is a modern example of how even new coins can achieve legendary status in the market. So what should you do if you want to search for a valuable 2017 D penny? First, always check your change. Second, learn to recognize the common errors and varieties. Double die obverse, die chips, die cracks, off-centers, and weak strikes are all clues. Third, consider investing in a good magnifier or even a microscope. Fourth, if you think you have a special coin, send it for professional grading because a certificate from PCGS or NGC can multiply the value overnight. And finally, follow the auctions. Watching sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay, and Great Collections will give you a clear picture of what real collectors are willing to pay right now. In today's coin market, circulated examples of the 2017 D penny may not be worth more than face value. However, mint state pieces can bring strong premiums, and rare errors can achieve life-changing sums. This is why so many collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters are obsessed with finding that one perfect coin. The current estimated high value potential has been reported in ranges touching the astonishing figure of $779,345 for the rarest known condition. While not every penny will be worth that much, the possibility keeps the excitement alive. So my friends, the next time you see a Lincoln cent from 2017 with the D mint mark, do not dismiss it. Hold it carefully, examine it closely, and remember that hidden treasures often appear in the smallest packages. What looks like just 1 cent might in fact be a golden opportunity waiting in disguise. Thank you for watching JF Coin.